Lockhart Perspective. Well, it would appear that the Democrats have decided who they would like to see replace Nancy Pelosi. And it's none other than Hakeem Jeffries. He's the new replacement for Pelosi. So let's get into this story. I will give you the entire screen because I truly and honestly believe that you deserve it. All right, so they have decided that they know who they want. They have decided to confirm Representative Hakeem Jeffries as their leader to replace Nancy Pelosi, making him, of course, we have to use these token phrases, which is very annoying. But the document says that he is the first Black American in charge of a political party. I don't like it when they do that, but yet they do it. So it does go on to say here that showing some party unity, okay, rare party unity. I've never seen them be unified, rarely, but I think they're always together. Nonetheless, let's just get on with it. Showing rare party unity after their midterm election losses, the House Democrats moved seamlessly to choose the 52-year-old New Yorker who has vowed to get things done, even after Republicans won control of the chamber. The closed door vote was unanimous by acclamation. Quote, "It's a solemn responsibility that we are all inheriting," Jeffries told reporters on the eve of the party meeting, "and the best thing that we can do as a result of the seriousness and the solemnity of the moment is to lean in hard and do the best damned job that we can for the people," closed quote. It's rare that a party that lost the midterm elections would so easily regroup, and stands in stark contrast to the upheaval among the Republicans, who are struggling to unite around GOP leader Kevin McCarthy as the new House Speaker as they prepare to take control when the Congress convenes in January. Wednesday's internal Democratic caucus votes of Jeffries and the top leaders came without challengers. The trio, led by Jeffries, who will become the Democratic minority leader in the Congress, includes 59-year-old Representative Catherine Clark of Massachusetts as the Democratic whip and the 43-year-old Representative Pete Aguilar of California as the caucus chairman. The new team of Democratic leaders is expected to slide into the slots held by Pelosi and her top lieutenants, Majority Leader Steny Hoyer of Maryland, and Democrat Whip James Clyburn of South Carolina, as the 80-something leaders make way for the next generation. I cannot help but tell you who he favors. I'm going to look into his background because see, here's what I've noticed lately. We've got a couple of other stories that I do want to bring you guys, so don't go anywhere yet. But he reminds me of a Barack Obama. That's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of a Barack Obama. If you guys do you think so? I think so. But and it's not just the way that he looks, clean cut guy. It's because the 2050 agenda is for people to look exactly like them. And if you notice, they do have three individuals that are from different, types of their agenda of what they're pushing lately. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Nell J. Blank or Bank. Thank you. You're absolutely on point with that one. So we're going to I'm going to save the best story for last because some of this stuff you just cannot, I repeat, you cannot make up. And I couldn't make it up if I tried. As a matter of fact, when I got the alert this morning, I just fell over laughing. It was just hilarious. And I'm going to laugh in a few minutes. Yes, that's true. He reminds me of Kwame, a former NAACP president. That's right, Hal. Now, did you guys see this yesterday? This came out yesterday. San Francisco supervisors voted Tuesday. They voted to grant the police the power to potentially use lethal remote control robots in emergency situations, following an emotionally charged debate that reflected divisions on the politically liberal board over the support for law enforcement. People who followed my channel or the Lockhart Perspective will probably remember me saying over the past few years the vision that I had in 2015. I know Ronnie.d.Mann remembers. I know my husband remembers. But I said, I feel like they're going to start to tell us to get rid of the police so that they can bring in the robots, robot animals, robot things that people from a remote location were going to man. Well, listen to this. The vote was 8-3, with the majority agreeing to grant police the option, despite strong objections from civil liberties and police oversight groups. Opponents said the authority would lead to further militarization of the police force, already too aggressive with poor and minority communities. Well, of course, you've got to put the victimhood on the poor and minority communities. What would it be if we didn't have any divisiveness? Come on now, this is America. What's the problem? So Supervisor Connie Chan, a member of the committee that forwarded the proposal to the full board, said that she understood concerns over the use of force, but that according to the state law, we are required to approve the use of these equipments, Ms. Chan said. So here we are, and it's definitely not an easy discussion, she says. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this stuff that we're doing. It's just not easy. So get it together. The San Francisco Police Department said that it does not have pre-armed robots and has no plans to arm the robots with guns. But the department could deploy robots equipped with explosive charges, quote, to contact, incapacitate, or disorient a violent, armed, and dangerous suspect, close quote. When lives are at stake, the police spokesperson Allison Maxey said in a statement, that's when they can do it. Quote, robots equipped in this manner would only be used in extreme circumstances to save or prevent further loss of innocent lives, she added. Supervisors amended the proposal Tuesday to specify that officers could deploy robots only after using alternative force or de-escalation tactics, or concluding that they would not be able to subdue the suspect through those alternative means. Only a limited number of high-ranking officers could authorize use of robots as deadly force options. San Francisco police currently have a dozen functioning ground robots used to assess bombs or as eyes in low visibility situations, the department says, and they were acquired between 2010 and 2017, and not once have they been used to deliver an explosive device, the police official said. But explicit authorization was required after a new California law went into effect this year, requiring police and sheriff's departments to inventory military-grade equipment and seek approval for its use. The state law was authored last year by San Francisco City Attorney David Chiu while he was an assembly member. It is aimed at giving the public a forum and voice in the acquisition and the use of military-grade weapons that have a negative effect on communities, according to the legislation. A federal program has long dispensed grenade launchers, camouflage uniforms, bayonet, armored vehicles, and other surplus military equipment to help local law enforcement. Excuse me. In 2017, then President Donald Trump signed an order reviving the Pentagon program from his predecessor, President Obama, who curtailed it in 2015, triggered in part by outrage over the use of military gear during the protests in Ferguson, Missouri, after the shooting death of Michael Brown. San Francisco police said late Tuesday that no robots were obtained from military surplus, but were purchased with federal grant money. Hold on. Is it me? Let me look over here and see you guys. Did anybody just hear that? San Francisco police said late Tuesday that no robots were obtained from the military surplus, but were purchased with federal grant money. Okay, so the feds are giving the grant money for them to go out and buy the things that they need. Like many places around the United States, San Francisco is trying to balance public safety with treasured civil rights, such as privacy and the ability to live free of excess police oversight. Police. In September, supervisors agree to a trial run allowing the police to access private surveillance camera feeds in real time in certain circumstances. Debate on Tuesday ran for more than 2 hours with members on each side accusing each other of reckless fear mongering. Supervisor Raphael Mandelman, who voted in favor of the policy authorization, said that he was troubled by rhetoric painting the police department as untrustworthy and dangerous. Boy, isn't it amazing how they say that? And weren't they the ones that wanted to defund the police because they felt like they had, too much going on? But now all of a sudden they're upset because, well, they're painting the police department as untrustworthy and dangerous. Here's another quote. I think there's larger questions raised when progressives and progressive policies start looking to the public like they are anti-police, he said. I think that it's bad for progressives. I think it's bad for the Board of Supervisors, and I think it's bad for Democrats nationally. Board President Shaman Walton, who voted against the proposal, pushed back, saying it made him not anti-police, but pro-people of color. Pro-people, period. I'm so tired of the color. It drives me bonkers. I don't think you guys know how much it drives me bats. I think that there's a time and a place for everything. And yes, I do think that there are a lot of things that they use, to be divisive. And I'm not saying that we haven't had any issues here, but what I'm saying is I am just disgusted. I'm just disgusted. So it goes on to say that we continuously are being asked to do things in the name of increasing weaponry and opportunities for negative interaction between the police department and people of color, he says. This is just one of those things. Well, of course, because these things are only going to be used on Black people and Hispanic people and anybody else with melanin, of course, right? So we've got to stand up and say this, right? These things are only going to be used on people who are Black, brown, got a little bit of melanin in their skin, all right? Overproducing pigmented people. That's who this is going to be for. So we've got to bring in the fact that it's about the people of color. This is just one of those things, he says. The San Francisco Public Defender's Office sent a letter Monday to the board saying that granting police the, quote, ability to kill community members remotely goes against the city's progressive values. The office wanted the board to reinstate language barring police from using the robots against any person in an act of force. On the other side of the San Francisco Bay, the Oakland Police Department dropped a similar proposal after public backlash. The first time a robot was used to deliver explosives in the United States was 2016 when the Dallas police sent an armed robot that killed a hold-up sniper who had slain 5 officers in an ambush. The original story here, as it's noted, was published originally in the Los Angeles Times. While I come over here with you guys to pull up this next story, tell me what you think about that one. Tell me what you think about that in the chat. Are you guys as tired of this divisive stuff as I am? And I'm going to talk about it. Every time I see them put something there, I'm going to say it. I'm going to bring it up because it's really disgusting. But anyway, I digress. For the meantime, for the moment, I will. So now let's talk about, dealing with more authority. Let's talk about the Border Patrol agents. So now I'm not sure if you guys know it, but I think it's a sad thing because there are some Border Patrol agents that are deleting themselves, according to this story. So 3 Border Patrol agents die by deleting themselves in 3 weeks. We got to use certain terms here, even though we know that these people really just like to paint with the, rose-colored glasses. Sips coffee slowly as I say that one. The unprecedented crisis at the southern border appears to be taking a toll on rank-and-file Customs and Border Protection, or the CBP officers, with 3 agents taking their own lives in November. This brings the 2022 total suicides within the agency to 14, more than any year over a decade, sources told the Post. Quote, "It's a very serious epidemic that's happening within the agency." This comes from Representative Tony Gonzalez, the Republican in Texas, whose congressional district runs along the U.S.-Mexico border from Del Rio to El Paso, Texas. While there's no single reason attributed for the spike in agents' deletions, Gonzalez feels the ongoing migrant crisis, with more than 2 million people crossing the border in the last year, hundreds of immigrant deaths, children arriving alone at the border crossings, long work hours, and dealing with high stress situations, is taking its toll. Quote, work has gotten very difficult on them, explained Gonzalez, who is in touch with Border Patrol agents every day. He continues with, I've seen it in their faces. I've heard it in their voices for months now. It's almost, how much can a person take? And often they've taken a lot before they break, closed quote. Border Patrol agent Robert M. Boatwright, who was stationed in Las Cruces, New Mexico, was identified Monday as the latest agent to do so. This is really, really sad. So it goes on to say that sadly, near early indications suggest that BPA Boatwright succumbed to suicide, tweeted Chief Raul Ortiz, the head of the Border Patrol, without specifying what led to the 49-year-old's passing. He says, quote, I recently met with BPA Boatwright's co-workers, and they described him as amazing. They described his amazing work ethic and willingness to help others. Boatwright, a U.S. Army veteran, died on November 20th. He had been an agent, for 10 years and a canine handler since 2016. He left behind a wife and 2 children. Huh. The other 2 deaths happened back to back weekends. Something ain't right. Y'all ain't gonna pull this over my eyes just because you put it in a nice little package and put a name up there and a date. You ain't gonna, you're lying. Somebody lying. Okay, I'm sorry. I should have muted the mic before I said that. Now, 2 others happened back to back weekends with supervisory board patrol agents Rocky Saranana and Javier R. Fabila, taking their own lives on the 6th and the 13th, respectively. Really? Back to back? Huh. Really? Huh. Another Army veteran. Huh. And United States Army veteran Fabila loved serving his country, community, and his agency, and y'all full of it. Y'all can go on somewhere with this. This is mess. And I can read it, and you can see it. And you ain't got to be a rocket scientist to put it together. Remember, you guys, I pull the stories, and we read them together for the first time. Don't forget that. So as I read this, I'm reading it with you. I look at the top. But this right here, but he loved his family even more. He loved serving his country, community, and this agency, but he loved his family even more. So why not just go ahead and end it all, right? There's something right with this. He enjoyed the outdoors, sports, cars, the Dallas Cowboys, and spending quality time with his loved ones, said Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz. The National Border Patrol Council, the union that represents 18,000 Border Patrol agents, confirmed to the Post that there have been 14 of these in 2022 by its count. They include 8 Border Patrol agents, 5 Office of Field Operation officers, and 1 support staffer, and anybody else who was following the rules of the United States Constitution that got in their way. Oops, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Bad, Felicia, bad. In other years, they have recorded between 5 and 12 of these. The issue has led the CBP to hire suicidologist Kent Corso to help. Although an individual's decision to do this is a complex one with many factors from personal lives and various circumstances contributing, Corso is helping the agency understand and work to its best to do the best that it can to prevent further deletions. Corso has already traveled to Laredo, Texas to meet with agents and plans to travel to the Rio Grande Valley, where 2 of the agents who did this worked, to give a suicide prevention session, according to the agents. union. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Nope. Didn't do it. That ain't how none of this works. Okay? That right there ain't how none of this works. Do you see that, family? Do you see those beautiful babies? It's that heavy. So you can't just quit. Come on, y'all. Y'all know this is not what happened. This is not that's not what happened. That ain't how none of this works. That man did not leave that beautiful wife and those adorable babies. Something's up. Let me shut up. Whatever. Wow. Mm. Do you see that? Does anybody, who's there? Does anybody hear me? Hey, Black Spring. Mm-hmm. Alan Davis, are you feeling me on this? Guess again. Do you feel me on this? Does anybody hear me? Understand what I'm saying? Are you guys following what I'm saying? Because this right here is not what they're doing. These people did, in my personal opinion, these men did not do this. In this one weekend, another weekend. No, they're gonna have now. See, after we're saying this publicly, they're gonna have to change their narrative and call it something else. Because that ain't the people coming from across the border. You got me? Troy Walker, baby, I love you. Thank you. Because you know what? I'm telling you right now, I thought maybe I was the only one. I don't believe these guys did this. I believe that there's something else going on. And unless we're really right down there on the ground, checking it out and looking, or we have people, Iowa Free Thinker. I think what's up is if we do not have people down there telling us what's really going on, because these cats are under tremendous pressure. But what they're going to do is send in somebody to talk to everybody to figure out how to stop this and prevent it. Here's how you prevent it. You follow the law. You follow our Constitution. The president should be impeached because he is not doing what he is supposed to do. The laws are what he is supposed to make sure are adhered to, and they are not being adhered to. Period. Period. The laws need to be upheld. Prevent 2 million people from coming over. You all telling these people to stand down. Anyway, let me go because I don't like that. But this man and his beautiful baby, Sariana, a 22-year veteran of the Border Patrol, pictured here with his wife and 2 kids, fellow agents, started a GoFundMe page to benefit his children's college fund. There is no higher priority for the CBP than taking care of our people, said the spokesperson for the U.S. Customs and Border Protection in a statement to the Post. The CBP has expanded the number of on-site clinicians and is hiring over a dozen operational psychologists. How about, hiring maybe more than a dozen more Border Patrol agents? But I know that's what you're going to do. And the ones that you're going to replace them with probably just came over that border. And you're going to send them in to make them, protect. Stranger things have happened. It says, together with these licensed professionals, implement an evidence-based suicide prevention and intervention program. The National Border Patrol Council believes that the CBP needs to end fit for duty protocols that agents are subjected to if they voice the mental health or other struggles, or that other word, the deletion thing, like a loved one's death, or struggles like a loved one's death. So now Sergio Moreno, the National Border Patrol Council, explained how in those situations, agents who seek to have to the ones who seek help have to turn in their badge and their service weapon, and that they're ineligible to work overtime and confined to a desk duty out of uniform. Moreno explained the same protocol is used when officers are placed under an investigation or discipline, which could lead colleagues to form an incorrect perception of their coworkers. Quote, they treat those employees like secondhand members of the workforce, and you're not allowed to wear uniforms. So the next day you come to work and coworkers say either he got hurt or he did something wrong. They're ashamed and they're ostracized. This gentleman here is Agent Fabiella. Mm. In order to return to their normal duties, an agent must be medically and psychologically evaluated by agency chosen doctors. Quote, that fit for duty process the agency forces their employees to go through is usually seen as a guillotine to your career, Marino said. Our goal has changed that is to change that culture. Others working alongside the CBP on the border have also been affected by suicide. The Army Times reported in December of 2021 how 4 soldiers in the Texas National Guard working on Operation Lone Star, Governor Greg Abbott's mission to secure the Texas border, had committed suicide that year, although the Texas Military Department disputed 2 of those. National Guardsmen are deployed from other parts of the state to assist CBP in their operations, and another Texas National Guardsman died from a self-inflicted gunshot to the head in Eagle Pass at the beginning of October, according to Fox News. This is really important. I want to say this here because this is a serious issue. We're not gonna, I'm not gonna make light of this. I'm gonna say this. I don't believe that what happened the way it did. I do believe that people do suffer from this. I know people that have suffered from depression all the way to the point of making that their choice. All right. So I've known people in my life that have done that. So I'm not saying that that's not real, and it's clearly nothing to take lightly or to make light of. If you or someone you know is thinking about suicide, please dial 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Okay? So that's the number there for that. Now, there is another story that I want to talk about. All right. Now, did you guys see this? Because we've got a lot of allegedlys going out there. There's a lot of allegedlys. I'm gonna let you guys see this, and then we're gonna talk about it because I know that you guys all know about it. But we gotta have a hoot, and it is a hoot. So let me change into something more comfortable. Changing the avatar. All right. So now we got that changed because I'm about to crack up laughing, and I know you guys that know me already know where we're going. We already know where we're going. Here we are. Now, did you see this garbage? Did y'all see this? This joker right here? Hoo-wee. Hoo-wee. Let me tell y'all something. This is amazing. It's amazing. Gender fluid Biden official Sam Brinton charged with stealing a woman's luggage. Openly gender fluid Sam Brinton, the MIT grad who joined the Joe Biden administration earlier this year as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Office of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition in the United States, the Department of Energy, was charged with a felony last month for allegedly stealing, she said allegedly, stealing a woman's luggage. The incident allegedly occurred at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport on September 16th. Why are we just now finding about this yesterday? Anyway, when a woman arriving from New Orleans went to the baggage carousel only to find that her navy blue Vera Bradley roller bag was missing. This information is per Alpha News. Here's the quote. Law enforcement at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport were alerted to a missing suitcase in the baggage claim on September 16th. The adult female victim said she flew into MSP on a Delta flight from New Orleans and went to retrieve her checked bag at the carousel. Airport records confirm the navy blue Vera Bradley roller bag arrived at 4:40 p.m., but was missing from the carousel. So, law enforcement reviewed the video surveillance footage from the baggage claim area, and they observed Brinton removing a navy blue roller bag from Carousel 7, according to a criminal complaint. The complaint says Brinton removed the luggage tag from the bag, placed it into a handbag that he was carrying, and then he left the area at a quick pace. Quick pace. Can you just imagine? Brinton arrived at MSP Airport around 4:27 p.m. on an American Airlines flight from Washington, D.C., but did not check a bag, meaning that he didn't have no reason to visit the baggage claim, according to the complaint. The female victim estimated that the bag cost $2,325 and confirmed to the police that the navy blue bag that Brinton took in the surveillance footage indeed belonged to her. Caper is solved. Brinton later took an Uber to the Intercontinental St. Paul Riverfront Hotel, where he checked in with the blue bag, according to the criminal complaint. According to the criminal complaint, Felicia didn't say this. He later returned to the airport on September 18th with the same bag in his hand when he departed for Washington, D.C. On October 9th, police questioned Brinton, "Where'd you put the bag?" about the bag and if he took anything that didn't belong to him. Now, did you take something out of here? You can be honest. Tell us. Brinton reportedly responded, "No, no, not that I know of, shorty. What you got in mind, player?" What do you have in mind? Not that I know of. If I had taken the wrong bag, then I'm happy to return it, but I don't have any clothes for another individual. That was my clothes when I opened the bag, he told the police. 2 hours after the interview, Brinton then allegedly called investigating officer and admitted to not being completely honest. I wasn't completely honest. No, I wasn't. According to Brinton, he mistakenly took the navy blue bag due to him being tired from his trip, and he got nervous upon realizing that the bag belonged to someone else, oh my Lord. When arriving at his hotel room, not knowing what to do, "I'm so dumbfounded, I can't figure this out." Brinton then allegedly told the police that he left the woman's clothes in the hotel room drawers and took the bag with him anyway in order to keep up appearances. Well, because I don't get enough money for me to go buy my own Vera Bradley. And even though I didn't take any checked bags with me to the airport, I'm a mentally stable person who just thought that it'd be appropriate to tell you that I thought the bag was mine. Even though I know I didn't check nothing, I'm going to tell y'all that I did. And my mental fitness should not come into question about this bag or even about my job. Working in the highest capacity that I possibly could in my field, in this particular office that Biden put me in. So I am mentally okay. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I just got nervous. And upon realizing that the bag belonged to somebody else when arriving at the hotel room and not knowing what to do, Brinton then allegedly told police that he left the woman's clothes. He put her clothes in the drawer. She'll get them. She don't know where they are, but she'll get them. And then he took the bag with him anyway, in order to keep up the appearance as well, because I came with a bag. Not going to think that I'm a lady who doesn't have any couth, he thought. Brinton has allegedly not returned the bag to the female victim, and the police said no clothing was recovered from the hotel room. His first court hearing is scheduled for December 19th in Hennepin County. Doesn't that Hennepin County sound familiar? Prior to his appointment with the Biden administration, Brinton openly opposed conversion therapy and taught Kink 101 workshops on college campuses, according to the National Pulse. In one particular workshop, Brinton wore a dress while standing over 3 men in leather dog masks. Brinton called this a pup play fetish in 2016 Metro Weekly article. Quote, "One of the hardest things about being a handler is that I've honestly had people ask, 'Wait, you have sex with animals?'" Brinton said regarding his fetish. They believe it's abusive, that it's taking advantage of someone who may not be acting up to the level of human responsibility. The other misperception is that I have some really messed up background. Like, did I have some horrible childhood trauma that made me like to have blank with animals? Closed quote. This person is being paid by your tax dollars. By your tax dollars. Put a mentally insane individual in position. A mentally insane individual into position. I didn't know the clothes. I didn't know that wasn't my suitcase. How did I not? I don't know what had happened. I thought that it was my suitcase, and then you know what I did is I went on ahead like any other reasonable human being, and I went on ahead and I took all the stuff. Right, I took it to the hotel with me, and when I went to my room, I went ahead and I put it inside of the credenza, put it all in the dresser, took all them clothes out the suitcase that I thought was mine. And I put all them clothes in the suitcase from the suitcase that I thought was mine inside the dresser drawer. And then I left the clothes that was in the suitcase that I thought was mine. And I just left just to keep up appearances. Well, because like I told the police, they were my clothes. They was my clothes. But then when I felt a little hot about it, I decided this is some BS. This is some BS. This is some BS. This whole country is a laughing stock, man. The whole country. This country, especially our politicians and do you guys realize what this is? This is boy. So from them orchestrating everything, it's the reason why I can't get with it no more. I just can't get with any of this stuff anymore. It is so contrived and it's so fake and it's so not real and it's just so it is, Ray. Excuse me, it is demoralization. It is absolutely amazing to me that this is what we are doing. Please hit the like button, you guys. Please make sure that you hit the like button. And for whatever reason, if you are one of those folks that end up getting an ad, please, you don't, if I don't mind if you pause to watch it, because that is how, the channel stays going. But it has been so much information that's been hitting all at one time that it's sort of hard to, follow up and follow every single thing. It is because a lot of the stuff that we're seeing right now is so depressing and so disheartening that it's funny. This stuff is absolutely amazing. Okay? This is what our tax dollars are paying for this cat to traipse around, letter A, looking like they want to look. And we can't say nothing. I'm going to say something. What's that? Oh, I see what that is. Do y'all see who that is sitting there with him? Magic Johnson's child. That's who that is right there. Can you see my cursor? Do you guys see that is Magic Johnson's son? Mm-hmm. This is a mess. This is and the boy done went in there and stole this woman's suitcase and then act like he didn't know. Why does he still have a job? If you are accused of theft and you're working for the United States government, you need to be immediately let go. You, my friend, are an easy mark. Anybody, you are an easy mark if you are a part of the United States government in any capacity, and you show that you have the ability to go in and steal, then you are not somebody who can be trusted with a security clearance, because it's apparent that you have something that you would be able to be compromised with, either by somebody knowing this information about you and then you turning right around and you doing what they want you to not tell that you're a shoplifter, or by knowing that this is how you rock, especially with the position that he is in. And now all you got to do is wait for him to slip, pay him some money, get what you need out of him, and you just keep pushing. He should not be allowed to even keep his job. Somebody just said locked, fired, and locked up. Karen, that's absolutely right. And 90% of them are, Troy. Hey, Leave Desi. You see? Cheyenne said people are speaking up. It's getting too crazy not to speak. You see? Now we got to say it because we can't take no more. I knew it, Daryl Calhoun. I knew it was something. Thank you. Thank you for looking it up. Because I said before I when I first got the drop that it was something to be shared with you guys, I said I got to look up his background because I already know it's some stuff. So you know what? And that must come from what, daddy's side, you think? But this right here is a mess. This is just a mess. It has been a busy fall. Well, I haven't been on much, Leaf Desi. I haven't been on much. I've had to take a little job. I haven't I need money. I need some money. I got some bills to pay. So I hadn't been things have been really slow this past year with YouTube. So I had to get some other income rolling in. But with that said, I've been missing you too. But I haven't been here that much. I'll need to pick up the pace here in a minute. But and then a lot of times, what also gets me is the fact that some of the news is painted so well. And here's the deal, David Bentley, how are you, precious? Here's the deal, you guys. Let me tell you guys something. When you consider the fact that, because somebody says, you know what, oh, you're taking news from this agency or you're taking news from that agency, baby, all this news is from the same people. You only have a handful of organizations or companies that are able to disseminate news because, well, there are only a handful of main companies that have media, and then they have other subsidiaries under them. So you've got like what, 5, 6, or 7 of them, and then you've got all the other companies up under them. So do you truly and honestly think that any information that you get is going to be 100% pure and true? I mean, people right now are having arguments about whether it's a flat earth or a round earth. Well, where did they get the information from the beginning? That's my point. You've got arguments over, which came first, the chicken or the egg, even though it sounds like a stupid analogy. You've got arguments over stuff, but you've got to remember who gave you the information. Who gives you? So all of this information will drive you insane if you allow it to rest inside of your being. Have you ever noticed that when you haven't turned the TV on or you haven't turned on social media and you haven't looked at anything, you seem to be a little bit more at peace? Thank you, Ray Finkel. You seem to be more at peace. And then all of a sudden, maybe a couple of days later, you turn it on and you're like, oh, wow, that happened. But do you realize that everybody else that saw it is all, they're all tense. They're all afraid. They're afraid. They're so afeared. But you're still chilling. And it's still okay. You still all right. You still got lights. You still got gas. You still got food. You still got, your mind and your peace. Your children are okay. Your spouse is fine. Things are going well. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that? You see? That's the deal. So what they want you to do is they want you to follow in line and get in line with all of this stuff when you already know that this stuff ain't what's real. The only thing that's what's real is you, your family, the things that matter in your life. All this other stuff, child, please. These ain't nothing but rich actors. Every single one of them are actors. And my Walter Matthau voice, actors. Enter. Every single one of them are. That's the reason why they're part of Hollywood. Hollywood. Okay? All right? And I'm here to tell you guys, that's the truth. Don't you let these people drive y'all crazy and insane with all this information. Don't y'all let them do it. You guys are too valuable. You all are too important. Do you see the buffoonery and the clown college crap that's sitting on the screen right there? That's their level of seriousness. And if you can't laugh at that, I don't know what's going on. You see that right there? You said with a mustache, no less. What got on looked like a bright red Chanel lipstick with a big ass mustache sitting on top. Ah! I'm trying to say big rump. No, I said it right. I said it right. You see what I'm saying? So these things right here, you guys, it doesn't matter where the news come from. That's the reason why I've got to be very, very particular now with bringing y'all stuff. Because did you know that there is? did you guys know that there is a concerted effort now to push false stories? We did one the other week. Remember when we were all sitting here talking about when they said that there was some things that had gone over into the other side, and that they believed that from Russia, that they had come over from Russia, and that 2 people had passed away in Poland. And then what did they do quietly? A couple of days or a day later, put it as a backstory. Oops, we're sorry. Okay, remember that? I said, oh, okay, see, we knew something was wrong because we all said it. All of you guys in the chat was saying something wasn't right. You were putting in your ideas, and you know what? Had people like, something ain't right. Oh no, Daryl. He got kicked out of Monty Python. Hey, disciple, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, in a prom dress. Alan Davis, you a mess. Ah, oh my goodness. That's funny. That is funny. But I mean, you got to be honest. You got to be honest and say, hey, there's something not right about any of this stuff. And so don't get all wrapped up in it. Because if we start getting all wrapped up in it, then we're going to be upset with ourselves. We're going to be totally, totally upset with ourselves because we're going to be angry. We're going to be mad. We're going to be all of the above. Angry. We're going to be mad. We're going to be distraught. All of that. All of the above. Okay? Biden would sniff him. Karen, you stupid. And you know you ain't wrong. You know that you are not wrong. You are not wrong, girlfriend. You are not wrong at all. Karen said he would sniff him. But the problem that I'm having with the whole thing, you guys, is our tax dollars go for this stuff. That was funny, right, Troy? Our tax dollars are going for this stuff. And it seems like every time you turn around, there's some unbelievable story. So for me, I want to stick closer to like what we just looked at, the San Francisco, board of, their supervisors voting to use those robot dogs, because that's something that we can touch, that we can feel, that we know happened, right? They voted for it, and we already know, what's going on. Those kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that kind of stuff. I want to talk about that. I don't really want to deal with a lot of things that don't have a paper trail to them, if that makes sense. Okay. Right? Yeah. Yeah, and it is. And the sad part is that, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. The so-called church, so-called Christendom, yeah, uh, I blame them, because I feel like a lot of them got to the point where they were saying, well, don't judge. They use certain key trigger words that make them feel like they have to go along to get along. Things like, oh, don't judge. Oh, everybody has sinned. Just love one another. As long as it doesn't happen on my watch, as long as it's not going on in my family, I'm okay. And then when it goes onto a commercial on your television vision screen, then you don't know what to do. And so you're a little calmer about that, but you got a little something to say. You're going to say it to the family, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? And so now we're actually paying for them to do what they want to do and pay who they want to pay with our money, irregardless of whether or not the person is mentally fit. If you're out here stealing stuff, let's just put it down like my girl Black Spring says. I'm put it down here where the cows can get it, like her dad used to say. If you go into airports for any company that you work for, if you're going through airports stealing people's luggage that you know is not yours and you did not check a bag, and you're taking that bag to a hotel with you, taking that person's stuff out and sticking it, you allegedly stuck it inside of a drawer, and then take the bag and keep on going. Why should you let her A be able to keep your job, and B, there's something wrong with you? And it doesn't matter what company you work in. It don't matter. It doesn't matter if you work as an executive for Walmart or if you're like this guy is working for the federal government. You need to be mentally, you need to be sat down and you need to do some mental evaluations, especially in this case. And he's going to get away with it. Now, listen, let's do something and let's flip the script a little bit. Let's say, for instance, that somebody else saw him take that bag and the lady was looking for it. And maybe it was a part of something else. Let's just see. Was it a part of something else? All right. Was it a part of something else that he ended up with that bag? How did he, why that bag? Why would you even go to the carousel? Did you see her getting on a plane? Because you guys took two different planes, unless it was a connecting flight from New Orleans coming into where you were. But how could that even be? How did you know that the bag was there? You see, that's the kind of questions that I begin to ask. How did you know that bag was there? You didn't check any luggage. This person's coming from New Orleans. You're coming from where you're coming from. How did you miss the fact that you didn't carry a bag? How do you keep your job? How do you keep a security clearance that high up? All right, a physicist. You know what? There's something I was looking at yesterday. I'm not going to bring that to you guys right now. I'm going to wait because I want to, I'm going to cover my mouth because I don't want to. This is, you guys, make sure you pay attention to me this week. Please make sure that you guys keep your, if you got to clear out your cache and then, resubscribe or something like that. Make sure you guys do that because I'm going to bring you guys a piece that I want everybody's input on. And it's dealing with the physicists, one particular priest, a couple of different priests. But I want you guys to tell me what you think about it once I bring it to you. And I'm going to bring you guys just a few pieces that we're going to put all out on the table. And, as the enigma, unfolds, we're going to put it back together with these little puzzle pieces of the stories that I have. And I'm going to want you guys to help me with this because something that we all know, it ain't right. Something ain't right. There's some flies in the buttermilk. But I'm going to need you guys to help me with this. I really, really, really am. All right. All right. All right. So yeah, we're going to do that. But I just want to say that I really am. I found this story hilarious. I found that story absolutely hilarious. I was like, are you kidding me right now? So this cat actually stole somebody's suitcase. I wonder what that luggage looks like. A navy blue Vera Bradley roller bag. And she said the lady said it was 20 something, $2,300. Okay. 2000. Wow. I don't see anything for 2000 yet. I'm looking though. I'm looking. $2,300. Let me put that in the search engine. I want to see, because if not, that means that you were. No, ain't none of these bags that high. None of these bags are that high. I don't see any of them that are that high as I'm looking at this. So that means you probably thought somebody was looking at you and you had to go and make a story to get yourself cleared, because there are no Vera Bradleys that I can see that cost that much, that I can see. So you was probably up to something you shouldn't have been up to, and you did not know if somebody saw you at that airport. Maybe you were out there doing something that you shouldn't have been doing, and you had to put this out here as a public cry. I don't know, but something ain't right. I know that much. This story is too far-fetched, and they're sacrificing you. So maybe you're being indoctrinated into a club or something. Maybe you're being indoctrinated into a club and you needed something to humiliate you publicly. Better get my butt off this thing. Is that what happened? It would be, right, Ray? There's something ain't right. The UN changed the law regarding robots and awards human status to a certain robot. Apologize for not remembering all the details. Oh, it's okay. Well, you know what I've been saying? What I've been saying is I believe, David, that the whole idea of racism, and I think I don't, did we do it over here or did I do it on the Lockhart Perspective, where I talked about the racism being humans against robots because they had given citizenship to Sophia. Yeah, they had given the citizenship to Sophia. A. Howell may remember, Daryl Calhoun may even remember, but we talked about that my idea or my thought process was that the reason why they push, even, let's see, Alan is here, he may remember, but the reason why I brought it up was because of the fact that I looked back at when the first phrase or when the conversation about the quote or the phrase racism began, and it was like in the late 1800s. So because I was thinking, my thought process was that there had to be a reason for them bringing that term into action or into play in order for it to now be something that they're pushing. So once we looked and we found out that the term racism was coined by some cat that was like a man in the military. He was like a high-ranking official in the military. Anyway, I feel like they are going to use the term racism to actually divide humans from non-humans, because we are not of a different race. We're of the human race, but we have different ethnicities. So we have different ethnos, but we're all a part of the human race. So in order for us to have racism, it would have to be against something else that is not of our race, which is why I believe that they are going to, by giving citizenship to Sophia, it would then prevent us from having any schisms about being replaced by a Sophia. It would prevent us from having any schisms about having one of Sophia's arrest us, that it will be like iRobot 2.0 on crack. Okay? That is what I think. I think that is going to be the new racism. And I don't remember if it was over here or if it was on the other channel. But I do remember that I put up we did a live on it. Yeah. But that's what it's going to be about. That's what racism is going to be about. See, they're getting you really accustomed. Okay? Cheyenne says citizenship includes the experimental people. Yeah. The Oxford English Dictionary first recorded utterances of the word racism by a man named, that's him. Yeah. But before him, go before him. It was, well, gee whiz, I wish I had that story at the tip of my tongue. I know that I did. I brought it up originally on the Lockhart Perspective, and then I also showed it over here on Headlines. But what happened was, it was not a lieutenant, not a colonel, one of the high-ranking guys back in the 1800s who was military. Start with a B, I think. I don't know. But nonetheless, he was the person who actually first used it. He was a gentleman, but it was because of them pushing out all of the natives off of their land and running them out, collecting all their children and putting them in these education systems. But the point that I'm making is that is going to be the term racism. That's what it's for. It's for us to not be so happy when we consider the hybrids that are now walking around. Okay? There's lots of hybrids walking around. General, there you go, Troy. It was a general in the late 1800s, and I forgot his name, but we got it up here. And what I'll do is, once this is done rendering and it's edited and rendered, I'll go on ahead and put it in the at the end of this video, so that way you guys can click it and see it. It was one of our fun lives that we had one night. But Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we can see that. Oh, and one of the people I want to say thank you to, I'm not going to say your name because in your card you did not say that I could say it, but I want to thank you so much. You know who you are for that wonderful gift that you sent to the post office box. Thank you, 1,000 thank yous. It really went a long way. We got another baby, and we bought him some shoes with it. Believe it or not, you gave it right on time. We bought him some shoes. We bought him some pajamas. Got him some clothes because he came with zero clothing. He had literally the clothes that were on his back. So we have another baby now. He's 5. Um, and so I want to thank you so much for thinking of me and everybody else who's thought of me. But I want to thank you specifically because that helped at just right on time. You sent that to that P.O. box right on time to go out and bless that baby. So thank you, thank you, thank you. May all of that come back to you 1,000-fold. So I'm going to get off right now. You guys, it's right at 1 hour. You know, I don't like to keep you longer than an hour. Okay. Yes, Cheyenne. Cheyenne just said it exactly. Division of Chimera and True Blood. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Thank you, Cheyenne. That's my sweet little baby. He's hilarious. He's funny. He's like an old man. Um, he's like an old man. He's 5 years old, and so we've got now an 11-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And I feel like they keep me young. That's amazing. I don't really want to have to take any more of them, but I'm just happy that the creator of all has me here at a time where I can do it, and so I'm happy to do it. But it is, it's y'all know taking care of kids. Y'all already know how that is, especially when you up in age and you got to do it again. You're like, oh, you got to go play some sports somewhere. Oh, really? Oh, you need another pair of shoes? Well, that hole, can't we just sew that hole at the tip of the toe? Ah! They do, Cheyenne. They do. Um, so anyway, yeah, you guys, tonight, please join me as we welcome our guest, Derek Rose, the willing witness. He's changed the name from the global witness to the willing witness. Listen, whether you like, love, want to squeeze him and kiss him, want to not hug him, not kiss him, please come and join us because you can learn so much by just having a conversation with someone. And tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, that's exactly what I'm going to do as I welcome our guest, Mr. Derek Rose. I would love for you guys to join me. You can put some questions down in the chat. Now, it is only for um, the subscribers, not for members. It's only for subscribers. So if you've not made the decision to become a sub and you're maybe watching us, just as we are, that's fine. But tonight, you'll have to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes to make a comment. And so I do want to invite you all out to come out and see him and ask questions. Any questions. He's a very generous gentleman. He's a very open and forthright person. And so if there's something that you feel you want to ask, if we've the opportunity to get to them, I will. Now, what I would prefer everybody do if you have a question is to please send them to me prior to the show. So that way I'm not distracted by the chat. Because, I'll see you guys and start wanting to talk. And that's not that's not what you want. What we want is for me to be able to still sit with you guys and not necessarily have to go back and forth. And so that's really what I'd like to do. So with that said, this evening, 7 o'clock Central Time, we will host Mr. Derek Rose. Very, very refreshing young man. And I really am happy that you guys will be able to see it. So let me give you guys a presentation right here so that you guys can see it and you guys can share it and you all can come on out and hang out. That's what I want you to do. Here you go. So there it is. Okay. There it is. Tonight, 7 p.m. Okay. The Willing Witness is the new name. The Willing Witness is the new name. So let me make sure you guys can see that. There you are. Let me give it all to you there. Yeah, let me close off this border. So I think that's what we can do. We can just, how do I do this? Will it let me? I think it should. No, it doesn't. Anyway, there you go. All right, folks. So hopefully tonight you guys can all come hang out with us, and that'll be it. Ray Finkel. Ray, you didn't know? Oh, okay. Okay, you did know. Okay. 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 All right. Let's see what else. Hey, Watchful and Alert. How are you? Didn't see you there. Good to see you. Oh, okay. Truth rules. Truth rules. You like his channel? Good. Good. I'm happy. Onyx. Hello, my wonderful, wonderful sister. How are you, beautiful lady? How are you today? Yes. So he is going to be on the show with us tonight. I actually could not sleep last night, you guys. Just so that you guys know the truth, I could not sleep last night. I'm so excited about having that opportunity. I couldn't sleep the night before L.A. Marzulli. I could not sleep last night. Okay. And yeah, so that part. But I'm excited, excited, excited. So, Daryl Calhoun, I hope that we can see you this evening. I hope that you're coming by. Thank you for being here, Daryl. I appreciate you. All right. All right, everybody. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out with me for the past hour and 7 minutes. I know that we don't get to see each other that much, but I trust that very soon that will change. Anything that you guys give to the channel does help to keep the channel going. And it also helps to allow me to be able to be here with you more often, because then my time is not separated with other folks. WCMB, no, excuse me, WCMW and Fab. Sup, brother Daryl Calhoun? No, 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 no. Mm-mm. No, not at all. Not at all, Onyx. Mm-mm. This man right here is, to me, I find him very intriguing. He is amazing. There are a lot of things that he does have a past life. Okay, so no, he did not have a stroke at all. But this gentleman here is, he's dynamite as far as I'm concerned. I have a very very great respect for him. Yes, he is good looking, isn't he? And he's a gentleman who's aged very well. He's aged very well. So he will be our guest this evening, 7 o'clock. I hope that everybody is able to come out, share it if you have the ability to on your platform or on your YouTube channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I want to remind you what we always say on any Felicia Lockhart publication, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High, the creator of all. I want you guys to take care of yourselves. And then once you've taken care of yourself and you've done a good job of that, then I want you to make sure that you reach around and take care of somebody else. But remember, you're not going to be able to take care of them if you're not well. So until you and I see one another again, please continue to be blessed. Lockhart Perspective.